Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back again with a response video for Justin, or Ryan1988, who posted a video showing off his top 25 horror movies from the year 2000 up until 2010. Great idea, Justin, and you certainly chose some great choices, so I really enjoyed the video and wanted to take some time to post a response of mine. You didn't include any remakes in yours. I will be including some in mine. Simply because they are in my top 25 horror movies from the last decade anyway, so I just wanted to include them in this one. But yeah, the majority are original movies and some movies that you didn't show, so hope you enjoy it, and to all other people viewing, I hope you enjoy this one. And if you haven't checked out Justin, definitely do so. I'll leave his channel link in the description box below. The majority of you people know who he is, but he's just a fantastic YouTuber, been a really great friend to me, so if you haven't subscribed, definitely do so, and make a video response for Justin as well, showing your top 25 horror movies from 2000 to 2010. We could get an interesting bunch of titles going, so I'm just going to get into it now, stop rambling, and I won't really talk about each title. I'll just show them off and move on, and these are in no particular order, but these are my 25. So the first one is Rogue. This is a great Australian horror movie, great little creature feature. Next up we have Hills Run Red, which is a modern slasher. Really enjoyed this one. Be interesting to see whether they make any sequels, but yeah, great characters, some really good gore effects and kills, and I liked the character of Babyface. Next up is Frozen. Wasn't too sure what to expect going into this, but I really enjoyed it. Really intense and an all-round excellent film. Next up is The Fourth Kind. This is a great, really creepy alien abduction movie, so if you're a fan of that sort of thing, highly recommend this one. Kind of underrated in my opinion, but yeah, brilliantly done, really creepy, and I loved it. Next is another fairly underrated sci-fi horror called Pandorum. If you're a fan of movies like Event Horizon, this is definitely one to check out. Loved it. Next up we have Orphan. I was pleasantly surprised with this one. Wasn't too sure what to expect, but really enjoyed it. It's pretty much the female equivalent to The Omen, and it's got some great twists and turns throughout, so definitely another great one to check out. Next up we have 28 Days Later. This is one of my favourite zombie or infected movies. Fantastic, and it definitely revived the zombie genre. Yeah, I'm sure the majority of you have seen it, but if you haven't, it's definitely one to check out. Extremely great. Next we have Wolf Creek, which is my favourite Australian horror movie. Of course, it's based off true events of a serial killer called Ivan Milat, or the Backpacker Killer. Brilliant cast of characters, really good story and character development from start to finish. Excellent. Next we have Trick or Treat, which is one of my favourite horror anthologies. Yeah, I just enjoyed all the stories. Great little anthology. The House of the Devil, which is one of my favourite throwbacks to 80s horror. Excellent film. It's kind of slow burning in parts, but it's really creepy and atmospheric, so highly recommend checking this one out if you haven't. Next we have Let the Right One In, which is a phenomenal vampire horror movie. It's my favourite vampire movie. I absolutely loved it. The two kids in this, there they are there, did an exceptional job with the acting in it. It is Swedish, so there's subtitles, but still definitely one to check out. Brilliant. Next we have Battle Royale, which isn't 100% horror, but I do classify it as horror. This is the Tartan release from the UK. Great film, really, really brutal, really, really violent, and really interesting idea. I thought the idea behind this movie was really, really great. So this is definitely one to check out, and my favourite Asian movie. Next we have the original Saw. When this first came out, there was nothing else really like this one, and I love it. Great, clever storyline with all the puzzle aspects, how the two guys are trapped in the room, they don't know what's going on, they have to try and find a way out, and what an ending. I was not expecting the ending at all, but yeah, this is a phenomenal movie. Next up we have Shaun of the Dead, which is more of a comedy horror. It's probably my favourite zombie movie. I really, really enjoyed this one. Another great British movie. Next up we have The Mist, which is a Stephen King adaptation. This is really, really good. I don't really hear too many people ever talk about this one, but if you're a fan of creature feature or monster movies, this is definitely one to check out. Next up we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. This is my favourite in the franchise. Loved it. Brilliant movie. Next is another British horror movie called Eden Lake. This is a hidden gem, I think. Definitely one of the best horror movies to come out in the last decade. So if you haven't checked this one out, I'd definitely recommend doing so. It's kind of different to a lot of other horror movies. It's more sort of cat and mouse hunter style, where they're sort of hunting their victims. It's about a young couple who goes on a weekend away to a soon-to-be housing estate near a lake, and they get harassed by these teenagers, and of course they try and sort of fight back and stuff, and that soon turns out to a really, really brutal run for your life basically. But yeah, this is really, really good. Highly recommend checking it out. Next up we have The Descent. Definitely one of the best horror movies of the last decade, so if you haven't checked it out, please do so. Kind of slow burning a little bit at the start, but once they get into the whole cave exploring and everything, it really, really takes a turn for the better, I think. Really, really creepy. It scared me in a lot of parts, a lot of jump scares, but yeah, really good. Next we have Switchblade Romance, or High Tension. This is a great throwback to late 70s, early 80s slasher movies, and apart from the kind of disappointing ending, this is an all-round great slasher movie. Next we have The Orphanage, which is a Spanish ghost story, so if you're a fan of ghost stories or sort of haunted house movies, I highly recommend checking this one out. Beautifully shot, great cast of characters, great film all round. Now on to my remakes. So The Hills Have Eyes. This is a great remake. I really, really enjoyed it. The Dawn of the Dead remake, in my opinion, this is better than the original movie. I know I'm going to cop a bit for that, but yeah, this is definitely a remake that I think had to be done and updated. So another great zombie movie. I Am Legend, which is a remake of The Omega Man. The Omega Man, in my opinion, was absolute garbage. So this is another exceptional remake. Not too sure if I'd really classify it as full-on horror, but it kind of is, and I love the whole isolated feel of one lone survivor. Next is the Friday the 13th remake. I love this movie. It's definitely an update that the franchise needed, I think. It basically combines the first three original movies into one, and apart from some fairly mediocre kills throughout, I think they did a really good job with this update or remake. And of course, the last one in my top 25 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. I know this gets a lot of flack for the whole backstory on Michael Myers when he was a kid, but I really enjoyed it. It's more of a re-imaging than a remake. But yeah, as I said, really, really enjoyed it. and I think it's a great addition to the awesome franchise. So there you have it. That is my top 25 horror movies from the year 2000 to the year 2010. Definitely get your video responses happening for Justin, and as always, rate and comment, and thanks a lot for watching.